There's a big difference between someone feeling ashamed and someone being shamed by another person. There are times that we look back at ourselves, especially our younger selves, our younger years, and maybe we look at our behavior and we feel ashamed of our behavior. Or we feel ashamed of something that we did that caused somebody else to feel badly. And we have regret for that shame that we have. And then there's a situation where someone else shames us. Hopefully, they did so by accident without even realizing it. But there are moments where someone could shame us on purpose. I remember experiencing one of those moments where someone was meeting with me and they deceptively asked a question which caused a tremendous amount of shame, and they enjoyed seeing me shamed because they were upset at me for some reason. Terrible feeling. And as our sages teach us, Chazal tell us, that when you embarrass someone, when you shame someone, it's as if you're killing them on a certain level. We have to be cognizant to make sure that we're able to speak to people and we're sensitive to not shaming them. And who do we learn that from the most? Yosef HaTzadik, who earned his name Tzadik because, among other reasons, of his behavior in this week's Parsha. Yosef decides to reveal himself to his brothers. The time has come. He has to tell them who he really is. He has to tell them that all this drama that they were going through is part of a bigger story. And when he finally makes that decision and says, okay, now I'm going to tell them, the first thing that he does is he says, Hotziu kol ish me'alai. Make sure that nobody else is in the room. When I am here with my brothers, he said, everybody else out. He didn't want any Egyptians to see, to be present when Yosef confessed to his brothers, or when he revealed himself to his brothers. Now, why is that the case? Is it because he was embarrassed and he didn't want any Egyptians to hear? So Chazal teach us, Rashi explains, no. Yosef's logic was that I have no interest in shaming my brothers, and we know that that's true, because the very next pasuk, Yosef says to his brothers, V'yata al te'atzavu, don't be sad, because you sold me here, but Hashem had bigger plans. You don't even realize that you were just part of that plan. So he says to them, don't feel sad, which means that Yosef wasn't intending to shame them, but he was concerned that when he revealed himself, and when they looked back and thought about what it is that they did to him, that they would feel shame. They would feel ashamed. And because of that, he didn't want them to be embarrassed. He didn't want them to be ashamed in front of other people. There are times when we have to confront people. We have to tell people how we feel about something. But when we do so, we have to learn the lesson from Yosef to be sensitive to the kavod, to the honor of every single person. And even if a person hurt us and we need to confront them and we need to tell them how we feel, we need to be sensitive to them as well. And if we do so, then we'll feel better, not only about them, but we'll feel better about ourselves. May we be zocheh to follow in the footsteps, in the example that has been shown to us by Yosef HaTzadik, and truly make sure that we are never responsible for shaming someone else. Thank you for listening, and have a good Shabbos.